Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name's Lottie for those who are new here, and as it's a new year, I know a lot of people set New Year's resolutions and new goals and things like that, but obviously it's a very weird start to a new year as we're all in lockdown. So I thought I'd make a video about how I'm trying to stay positive and make the most of my time in the house, because I know it can be so difficult. I found, especially in the first lockdown, it was hard to actually get anything done and stay positive and stay productive. I spent most of my time not really doing that much, so I thought this lockdown I would try and make the most of my time, get things done that I wouldn't normally have time to if there wasn't a lockdown, and just try and make the most of a bad situation. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe down below. And other than that, let's get started. Obviously, before we start, I just want to say these are just things that I do. They might not help you. They might actually make your life worse. But I just thought I'd share what I do and what makes me feel better about myself. So the first thing I like to do is actually set goals. So not necessarily New Year's resolutions, but just set myself little goals for the new year. I'll look at last month or last week or last year and have a look at what was good for me and what wasn't good for me. And then from that, I will reflect. So if I want to get a bigger friendship group or do better at uni or get a job or whatever it might be, I will then write these goals down on paper. And I think for me especially, this is so key to write them down on paper. And you can write it anywhere. You can write it on a piece of paper, you can write it on your notes on your phone. Just have it written somewhere so you can look back at what you're trying to achieve, and I feel like it just does keep you motivated towards the end goal. When I'm writing my goals down, I personally like to split them up into things like career, self-development, stuff like that. Another thing I've done this year, which it's only 7 days into the new year, but I think it has been helpful, I've actually created a vision board. So I've made a vision board on, like a physical vision board, but I've also made one on my phone and set it as my lock screen. So on that vision board, I've actually got pictures of things that inspire me, so like holidays, traveling, because I do want to travel more, obviously COVID permitting. I've tried to focus it mainly on what I want to achieve in 2021, just so that it has like a time frame to focus on as well. Seeing that every day as my lock screen really is quite motivating actually, because if that's what I want, you need to get out of bed and stop lying in bed, Lottie, and get on with it. And then from those goals, I actually write down like resolutions. So if I want to drink more water, for example, one of my resolutions will be carry a water bottle around with me. Again, I'll write these down somewhere. So as I said, I've got some on my vision board, I've got some written down just on paper or in my notes, because it does really help keep you focused. And also when setting these resolutions, make sure they're realistic to you. So for example, if I wanted to get fitter, I wouldn't say exercise for 2 hours a day, because that's just not realistic. I'd put something down like exercise for 20 minutes a day, because that's actually achievable. You don't want to set unrealistic goals, because that can actually end up just being demotivating, and no one wants that. Now, my third point is actually something that I live by. If I don't do this, like, my life is just a mess. I know some people are the complete opposite, so I'm not saying you have to do this. My mum's opposite, she hates doing this. But my third point is you need to plan. Now, I plan everything. So for example, I'm filming this video at 12. I literally planned that last night. Like, okay, I'll get up, get ready, have breakfast, and then film at 12, and then go on a walk at 1. So I really do try and plan things to the minute, but for me that does help me just be so much more productive. Another thing I do is make to-do lists. So I'll make to-do lists the night before or the morning of the day, and that just helps me again stay focused. But you definitely should write it down, whether it's on paper or in your notes. Again, write it down, because you can tick them off and it just makes you feel so good and so productive. So some things I use to plan my life: I actually have a physical diary this year. I don't really like the Apple calendar in my phone. doesn't really do it for me. So I got a physical one, and in here I've just got like uni deadlines, and I've also got when my new block for uni is starting and all my lectures written down in here. And by having it all written down and like by planning out my days, I find that I see when I've got free time. So I really make sure that I use that free time and do things that I want to do instead of just like scrolling on my phone and wasting it. Another thing I used to plan, you would have seen if you watch my what I got for Christmas video, but I actually got this weekly planner. And if you're gonna use anything to plan, I'd say get a weekly planner, whether it's like a weekly planner app on your phone. I don't know, I don't really like using them. I like writing things down and like highlighting them. But these are, I just find them so helpful because you can write everything on them and then just like throw it away. So it's like a fresh week, fresh start each week. I even do a meal plan of these. So right now I make my mum do one while I'm home. She doesn't normally do one, but we've got one on our fridge of the meal plan for the week. And I do that at uni as well because it helps me do my food shop and things like that. All my uni lectures, any doctor's appointments, any videos I want to film, things like that, I will write it down. I can't stress this enough. It just keeps you so focused and makes you so much more motivated. Well, it does for me anyway. The next point I think pretty much goes along with planning, and that is create a routine. I know lockdown can affect so many people's mental health because we are used to having a routine, we're used to going to our jobs, school, things like that. But obviously lockdown is completely messed up. We have nowhere to go and nothing to do. So create a routine now, especially more than ever. Go to sleep at the same time every day, wake up at the same time every day. It will just help you feel better about yourself in general. This really, really helped me, especially when I first started uni, because it was a new place, I didn't really know what I was doing. Having a routine helped me so much. It's also really helped me this lockdown. Now I know we're only a few days into it, but when Boris announced this lockdown, like, this one hit me a lot harder than the first one. I think it's because I was meant to be going back to uni, so it just made me quite emotional. And also I have lots of deadlines at the moment, so it did make me a bit stressed and emotional. But having a routine and putting into place when I'm gonna get that work done, when I'm gonna go on a walk and see a friend, has made me feel so much better. And it makes me feel like I'm actually using my days and getting stuff done rather than just lying in bed scrolling through TikTok. And for me, like I just said, the lists and to-do lists and planning really help me maintain that routine. And my last point, I think, is just the most important point, especially in these times. I think if you do any of the things I've suggested, definitely you should be doing this one. It's make time for yourself and make time for your mental health. Because if you fill your days with things like uni work, college work, school work, your job, and you don't make time for yourself, you are not going to stick to your goals, you're not going to reach your goals, because soon you're just going to have burnout and you're going to feel like shit. When it all gets on top of you, you're going to realise, oh my god, like, you're just going to have a breakdown. That's actually what happened to me when I had to isolate at uni. I thought I was fine, I was doing all this stuff, and then I got home and started to relax and just like basically had a breakdown. I started having panic attacks and things like that, which is not like me, and that's never happened before. So each week, whether it's a Sunday night, I know so many people have like baths and do face masks and hair masks on a Sunday night, whether you do that or each night you just sit in bed with a face mask on and a cup of tea and read a book. Make time for your mental health. Your mental health is so, so important, especially during these times. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. These are just the tips that I found keep me positive, they keep me productive, they keep me focused on the goals I want to achieve, whether it's weekly goals, monthly goals, or goals for the year. Obviously, you don't have to do all these things that I suggested. These are just things that make me feel good about myself. They make me feel productive, and maybe they might make some of you feel productive too. They might help some of you, but I know these things don't work for everyone, but this is just what has been working for me. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button, and also please do subscribe down below if you haven't already. And other than that, I will see you next week in next Sunday's video. Bye!